Namaste. Namaste. The fear of living alone can connect you to deeper fears, especially if you try to overcome your fear, if you try to find ways to fix your emotions, if you try to find ways to conquer your thoughts, and you want to beat fear and you want to forget it and block it out. That is what's going to lead you to trouble, where you resent yourself, you don't like yourself, and then you start doing things that you don't like eating bad, drinking, smoking, and possibly even ending up with like heart attacks and strokes when you get older. Instead, what do you do? Well, in this video, we're going to talk about ways to accept and honor fear. I was reading a book, Think and Grow Rich, and I looked at the 6 fears that Napoleon Hill was talking about, and I'll break that down for you. If you look at the image on the left, you can see a young boy who's hurting, low self-esteem, low confidence, and self-hatred. This was a time where I just had gotten out of juvenile detention. I was living alone at the time. On the right, you can see me being a practicing board-certified family doctor with 26 years of clinical experience, and I've been sober from alcohol, drugs, gambling debt, eating disorder, and mainly self-hate and the fear of not liking myself for the last 6.5 years, with a sober date of July 31st, 2018. And why am I saying this, and why am I showing you these pictures? It's so that you can inspire and you can live alone and know that you can live a fulfilling life. And if you have faith, if you are obsessed with being healthy, with doing things for your mind that are healing, like accepting and embracing instead of overcoming and fixing, and not talking to these types of people, you also can live this fulfilling life. In the picture on the left, I had just gotten out of juvenile detention. I was scared and living alone. But one of the biggest things that helped me was overconfidence. I had rewritten my whole life and gotten 7 scholarships into medical school, and now I thought I was a big deal. Overconfidence is directly proportional to low self-esteem. The fear of failure can be overcome by overconfidence, but you can see here how I'm saying a lot of bad words. Overcome, fix, conquer. What you want to do is you want to accept and honor fear for what it is. Okay, I'm living alone. Well, what if I'm going to live alone forever? Is anybody going to take care of me? Okay, let me take care of myself. So these are some of the things that I did to what people would say overcoming fear. Instead of that, accepting and embracing it is what I did. And that's how I survived and became a flourishing board-certified family doctor with all of the things that happened to me. Alcohol, gambling, nicotine, people trying to destroy my career. There's all kinds of things that have happened to me. But through simple mind hygiene techniques, which are writing, like rap songs, writing on boards, writing on pieces of paper. Let's take an example of what I wrote just this morning. This is February 14th, and as I was reading the book, I was writing about fear of poverty, fear of criticism, fear of ill health, fear of loss of love, fear of old age, and fear of death. And what I did was I just wrote these things down with the idea that I'm just going to accept it and embrace it instead of trying to fix it. And that's what mind hygiene allows you to do. So what you do is you try to just accept some of these things. And as you keep on writing, you'll be able to understand yourself a lot better. Now you can see here are some different writings. Here is another day where I wrote about trying to understand what my mission, vision, purpose is a little bit better. And you have to understand, this is after like years and years of writing. This is after several years of trying to understand myself. Well, let's break down the 6 fears that Think and Grow Rich talks about, and I'll shift to a screen recording. Let's go over some medical evidence when it comes to Let's go over some medical evidence-based techniques when it comes to fear of living alone, which can tap into deeper fears. And I'm going to read this. Psychologists say loneliness can trigger survival fears linked to the amygdala, which is our brain's alarm system, the flight or fight response. A 2015 study from Brigham Young University found chronic loneliness is as harmful as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. We often fear living alone because it reflects deeper fears like poverty, aging, and loss of love, as we talked about in the 6 fears. Some of these things are more inspirational for you. I don't give advice. When it comes to this, I was doing both, smoking 15 cigarettes a day drinking a six-pack, gambling, spending money, being scared of all of these things, whether I'm going to live, I'm going to be in poverty, or whether I'm going to be lonely forever, is do I feel that I'm going to be able to be in a fulfilling and a healthy relationship? Well, let me first start with myself by doing simple mind hygiene techniques. Okay, this is something that I'm doing that won't let me survive. Let me put that cigarette down for 1 second and let me go run for 1 second instead. So those are some simple mind hygiene techniques that can help you. And by writing these things down and writing your awareness, what are you feeling inside? For example, on the image on the left, I hated myself on the inside, but on the outside, I'm like, what's up, dog? Let's go kick it, man. Hey, you got 5 on the 20 sack. And what I was doing was I was trying to fit in with the environment. Little did I know that I was disguising who I really was. And I needed to do that at that time. Nobody was there telling me, you got this, you got this, you got this. I needed to tell myself I got this. But I wasn't being intentional and I wasn't being purposeful about it, and I wasn't writing it down. And that's what I would suggest for you. When you look at the image on the right, I still am living alone, but I've become a board certified practicing family doctor. I've lived alone my whole life. I've slept next to very few people, and I have not been in many long relationships. I've slept next to very few people and have lived alone for most of my life, and I had to figure out ways to survive. Great. Being a doctor, I've lost some weight, I've stayed sober, but it's the writing techniques that have really helped me. If you resonated with this, subscribe, hit the notification bell. I'll be dropping videos on Wednesdays at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. There will be a link to a mind hygiene guide where you can understand how to feel better in 1 to 90-second intervals for life. Please do write a comment, an inspirational coaching session to let us know what you think about fear and how you accept and honor it instead of overcome and deal with it. And if you do find ways to conquer it and do well, inspire us and let me know how I can do better. And remember, when you do start writing, you gotta do it for life.